Hello guys, Holly Smith PT here, and today we have an awesome guest, Peter Spida Everitt, hey?
Yeah.
Former pro AFL player, and now is on, is it Triple M Radio?
Triple M Brecky Radio.
Which is super awesome, and he is a busy individual himself, so we're going to ask him a few questions, maybe he can relate to you guys, and yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
What brought you into AFL? How did you all get started?
Oh yeah, I was lucky enough to, growing up in Victoria, that's all everyone ever did was, play AFL. So, I was just grew up playing under 9s, under 11s, with mum and dad coming every week. And then back in the day, that was the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria where I grew up. That was zoned to the St Kilda Footy Club. So at the end of year 12, I was zoned to go to St Kilda, and they picked me up and ended up, playing footy.
That is so awesome. And how long were you doing that for?
Ended up being 16 years. By the time you first came in, back in '93, a few years ago now, but then 16 years I went to St Kilda, Hawthorn for 4 years, and the last 2 years in Sydney.
That's so cool. Awesome. So you're a busy individual yourself. You work on radio. I know you wake up pretty early.
Yeah.
So give us a typical day in the life of what you do, and how do you look after your health?
I get up at just after 3 every morning.
Oh.
So 3 o'clock, and the alarm goes off, driving to work, and then we prep for radio show, which we start at 5 a.m. and then we're on until 9. Yep. And then after 9, you have normal meetings and everything you do with your boss, very similar to what a coach does with footy. And then on the way home, I go to the gym. Because I always think if I get home, I'll never go.
Yep.
So even when I was playing, I love getting up early and training in the morning. So go there and do an hour or so, and then come home and have my lunch and have a rest, and then normally the after school activities of coaching junior footy, or we do a travel TV show, so editing and putting that together. So a fair bit, but I think the main thing that keeps me that 1 hour at the gym, I think for so many people is so important.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. A lot of people do it differently. I like going to the gym because I've had 16 years of people telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and how many of them to do. But I like going to the gym to do what I want. Yep. Some days I'll go there and do hardly anything. Other days I'll go there and do a lot. But the main thing is just getting there, and that hour just gives you that mental health and just that little bit of relaxation. At the same time your mind's working, you're just getting a bit of your time.
Well, that's it, and you're putting yourself first, and it is your time, that hour. And that's what I say to everyone, I'm like, if you can find an hour out of your day, doesn't matter where it is or when it is, it will just change your life.
Well, I think the hardest thing is, and I suppose it's what you're trying to work on. It doesn't matter if it's dancing, if it's walking, if it's running, whatever that hour is. It could be reading a book, and I'm not one to read a book, but it's whatever it is. It's amazing that 1 hour will actually then transform into so much more quality work afterwards.
It is.
It's hard to say, okay, I'm going to lose an hour here. How am I going to make up for that hour? Yeah. You'll make up for that hour because of what you think about during that hour, of how you then put things in patterns to go, okay, well, this actually needs to do, I need to do this, and this, rather than not having that hour to try and put it all together.
No, that's exactly right. And when I say to everyone, I'm like, if you can find an hour to put yourself in your health first, not even just your health, but just your mental, physical, emotional health, you're able to be more productive, you can be more creative, more, focused, and you'll have more energy, and it's been scientifically proven.
Yeah, and it's so hard for people to understand that, but it is true.
It is, and the thing is, you don't understand it unless you take the first step and just get started. So I think just getting started and going to the gym, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Yeah, so because I coach a lot of, ex-pros, athletes as well, a lot of CEOs, entrepreneurs, people who just are working super long days. So what would you say to people who have maybe been ex-athletes or been quite under stress with work? What would you suggest to them to put their health first? What's a good starting point?
Oh, look, for me, I suppose former athletes, and they can all go down. You can, because you're so strict and so regimented in the way you do things. When you retire, you enjoy beers and crap food and everything, the greats of life, really. But it's just prioritising everything like that. And a lot of people go, okay, recently I've had a bit of time off the grog, and they said, how do you do it? And it's mentally, it's really hard. But then you say, well, hang on, if the coach told you to do 400, would you say no? You go sit there and go, no, you wouldn't, would you? You'd go and do it. So
That's
why
it,
can't you say no to having crap food or no to beer? It's all that mental strength of saying, it's those little disciplines that, just because you're not getting paid or you're not running out there on a Saturday afternoon to do it now, there's still certain disciplines that you can play with your mind, and that's the fun of it. The fun of it is actually achieving those little milestones throughout the journey, and that's what I've referred back to that. I've done a lot of charity work where I've stood up on a paddleboard for 12 hours, and someone said, well,
that's cool.
would you have got off after 10 hours? I said, no way. And they go, well, then why do you have to go to this function and have a few beers?
Yeah,
what's harder?
So true.
And it's harder to stand on a paddleboard in 12 hours than to say no to a beer. So it's all those little things that you just, your mind just plays games with you. You just play games back.
That's exactly right. And I think you learn the discipline after a while, and it becomes a lot easier.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. As soon as you're in that I suppose the consistency of having this and this on a daily routine, and consistency is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
I'm a bit far. I go a little bit far on my 5 week fix, my 2 coffees in the morning, and I drink a lot of water and then go to the gym. But everyone's different. But consistency in life, everybody likes.
100%. And consistency, you don't actually see results until you stay consistent. And until you can stay consistent, you're not going to know if you're going to get the results if you have to try it. So I think consistency is 100% key. And what would you say to people, I guess maybe we're more going to people who are in hardcore lifestyle athlete. How did you deal with being a pro to now working in radio? What was the lifestyle change, and how did you have to get used to that?
Yeah, I think it's really accepting the fact that that was the last life. You can't do that anymore. You can't run like that. You can't jump. You can't do that anymore. Yeah. So while you're there, and if you're in that part of your career, enjoy it. Yeah. But at the end, you've really got to shut the door and go, okay, this is the new journey now. This is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to go about it. And really, while you're in that spotlight of AFL, or if you're playing sport, or you're going through school, all your contacts and people you meet, don't burn anyone, because you might need them down the track. You don't know where you're going to be after that. So my big one is, if you are an ex-athlete, is you've got to close that door and build a new person of who you are now. And you definitely relate back to it. Definitely all my stuff relates back to football, but at the same time, you've got to just do the hard work now on whatever the new career is, and use what you learnt in that sport or in that profession in your new profession. And that is things like that commitment, that consistency, that all those little disciplines that might not be actually running, but it might be doing computer work. You can relate everything back into what you want to achieve. Yeah,
100%. I think you learn the discipline when you work as an athlete, and then you can do that in your business, in your personal life, in every aspect. And I guess 3 last questions. What I ask a lot of my clients and people I coach and all my other followers, connections, is for someone to have the most successful day, what do you have to do? And what action steps do you have to take? And everyone's is going to be obviously very different.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know, one, what would you say to people who are generally like, I don't know where to start with their health to have a successful journey? Maybe they want to lose 10 kilos and they don't know where to start. Maybe they need a little bit of motivation. What would you say? Yeah, look, my big one is the fact that, if you want to lose 10 kilos, you didn't put it on in a day, you're not going to lose it in a day. Yes.
Hey, so it's all those little things, and all those little things count, and it's just a matter of, okay, you get your food right, because it is 90% of what you put into your body, and then just going to the gym, it actually then helps you eat better.
It does. Accountable.
It's that little bit of mentality. If you go for a walk, you're not going to go home and just have bacon and eggs. Sit there and go, okay, I might have some yogurt and some fruit. So it's all those little things that you can start with. And my one is, just say, for instance, that you renovate a house, and I sit there and do the garden, I won't go and do 30 wheelbarrows in one day. I'll sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to do the next 3 days, I'm going to do 10 a day.
Yeah.
And then if I feel like doing 12 or 14, I won't. I'll do my 10, and the next day I'll do my 10, and then I'll do my 10, and then suddenly over 3 days, you've got to your 30, and you see the results. Now, you can't see the results in your body that quick, but if you just consistently go and do those little bits, you will see results. You have to see results. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, that's it. And then we go back to consistency.
Yeah.
So that is amazing, and that's really awesome. Hopefully that inspires you guys.
Yeah.
People trying to start a fitness journey. And I guess the last thing is, because a lot of you guys probably listening to this are on LinkedIn, what would you say to someone to succeed, I guess, in business? And it can be due to mental health, physical health, emotional health. Yeah. Because it can be quite demanding.
Yeah, it is. And that's the other. I think one thing is you need your time away from that business as well. And you got to take a step back sometimes to actually take a couple of steps forward. Listen to other people, even if you don't agree with them. You listen to them, you think about what they say, you look at it. Because sometimes the way we think, for a business, it's not always correct. So sometimes it's definitely worth listening to people. I'm always a big one of know your opposition, who you're going up against. Don't worry about them, but just know what they're doing. Because you want to know, is your product or what you're doing a little bit different, or what are you offering that little bit different? And I think in today's environment, my number one, and depending what business you're doing, is your customer service. Again, if it's renovating a house and it doesn't matter how many things we put in, we never got somebody calling back saying, you know what, you're happy with the tiling, or you're happy with your shower. Now, if a business did that to me, I'd go, how good's that? So customer service today can make a big difference between you getting more jobs or no jobs. And it's just that follow-up. And if you believe in your product, you should be happy to follow up. And if they give you a little bit of feedback, well, you know what to work on, and they'll sit there and go, you know what, I'll use them again because they actually did what we told them.
Yeah, 100%. So, I think that's everything, and what you give out, is what you get back. So that's so awesome.
No worries.
Thank you so much for your time today, and it's so good. I think people can be just super inspired with someone so busy, wake up so early. I think that's my big thing is just give yourself that 1 hour a day, and let's be honest, not every day you can do it, but if you do it every day you can, and a couple of days when you can't, that's fair enough, but then you continually can. So just get out there, just give yourself a go. All right, action steps. Go do it, implement it, let's go. I hope you're inspired by this, and I hope you have a great day. Make sure you like, comment, and share this all to your friends and family because they need to be inspired too. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.